Hello, I'm your superhero critic, and I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome, and I don't like this movie.
Days of Future Past is regarded as one of the most successful X-Men stories of all time, published in 1981 and focused on Kitty Pryde mind-swapping with her younger self in order to stop the assassination of Senator Kelly. In order to prevent a worldwide dystopian future as Sentinels take over the planet, and an adaptation done right could have been Elliot Page's time to shine.
But did we get that?
No! Instead, we get yet another dick-sucking to Wolverine and completely shit on the original story by sending Logan back in time and yet again making Magneto the villain because, Fox cares about the general audience over the people that actually give a fuck about the comic characters.
So as you can tell, I'm not a really big fan of this interpretation of one of my favorite X-Men stories. But with that being said, I really need to make that a shirt. Let's look at X-Men Days of Future Past.
We begin in the future as we see mutants and humans are lined up as cattle, showing us something drastic has happened, and after the opening credits we go to the X-Men who are trying to do a stakeout, but a group of Sentinels show up. The groups stand their own, but one by one they are brutally murdered as Shadowcat uses the ability she's never had in the comics to send herself and Bishop back in time.
Too late, assholes.
Ooh, so edgy.
The remaining X-Men and Magneto get together and talk about how Kitty helps everything being successful. Xavier tells the audience that it's Mystique's choice to kill Trask in 1973 that leads to the Sentinels being built, and that time travel is the only way to stop this war.
Plot convenience!
The group take their defense stances as Xavier and Eric tell Logan what he needs to do to find them. Kitty explains the situation, and Wolverine is sent into the past.
This might sting a little.
That's what you say is a little pain. I'd like to see what you say is a lot of pain. Then again, that is the sadist in me.
Logan wakes up showing the audience all of his Jackmen, and he tries to convince a group of thugs that fighting him is useless as we still see that he has his bone claws instead of his adamantium. But he still takes them out. At a political debate, Trask is trying to get everyone on board with his Sentinel program, but it's denied. We then go to a military outpost filled with mutants that are meant to be taken to Trask Industries. Mystique stops Stryker from taking them by attacking the humans and helping them escape on a plane. Logan goes to the mansion to find Charles finding Hank first, causing a small tussle when Logan walks past him uninvited. Charles shows up and Logan explains what's going on, but Charles shows he could give a less than two shits and is just a complete asshole who clearly doesn't want to help. We then get a flashback of Charles meeting Raven from First Class, and he finally agrees to help.
I'll help you get her.
Ah, the power of boners!
Xavier and Hank explain why Eric is being held as Mystique begins snooping Trask's information regarding the Sentinels. The three of them then find Peter Maximoff, who is a speedster mutant, and do what they can to get his help, even showcasing Wolverine's bone claws.
It's cool. It was disgusting.
That's nasty.
The quartet begin to break out with Hank hacking the cameras while Peter vibrates the glass cell.
Why do superheroes hate glass so much? Every movie.
The guards, of course, react into action as Quicksilver shows off why he's better here as to his MCU version, as we get an amazing slow-motion sequence as he takes out all of the guards in one massive swoop. The group board a plane and Eric meets Logan, and an angry Charles and Eric get into it as they are both furious with each other's actions. We then go to Paris where Raven is undercover with a politician and eventually chokes him out. Eric and Charles now calmly talk about what's going on as they begin a game of chess.
I really hope it doesn't end like a Harry Potter game.
Trask goes to a meeting with political leaders to promote the Sentinels as Mystique is posing as the guy she killed, but her cover is blown and she is forced to defend herself as Stryker hits her with a stun gun.
Shocking.
The group try to save Mystique only to have Wolverine have flashes when he sees Stryker. Eric decides to kill Mystique, but Hank tackles him, and he uses his power to shoot her in the ankle. The minds of Wolverine, however, get screwed up, and he has no idea what's going on, as Beast tackles Eric, allowing Mystique to get away. Trask finally gets approval from the president to start his program, while Raven and Eric discuss what's going on, but it achieves nothing as Charles' powers begin to come back, and he finally decides not to take a shot. Charles finally uses Cerebro again.
These are muscles I haven't stretched in a long time.
I really don't know if that's a giggity or not.
Charles can't handle the psychic strain blowing up Cerebro, and Logan uses himself as a guinea pig to get Charles to see everything and allowing him to link up with his mind, talking to his future self, gaining the advice he needed.
Help us, Charles Xavier! You're our only hope!
With Charles finally mentally ready, we jump to Magneto, who hijacks the train carrying the Sentinels, while the future Iceman wants the plug pulled as past Charles tries to convince Raven to come home. Hank then tries to explain the theory of time.
It's like a river. You can throw a pebble into it, create a ripple, but the current always corrects itself. No matter what you do, the river just keeps flowing in the same direction.
What are you trying to say?
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff.
The group head to DC as Eric heads to steal his helmet. Logan reminds Charles how important he is as the Sentinels of the future find the survivors and the past selves get into the rally and the Sentinels are unveiled. Magneto decides to go overboard and literally lifts an entire baseball stadium to surround him. All while the future X-Men begin the defensive and Magneto begins his attack in the past. This creates mass pandemonium in both the past and the future. Mystique manages to slip in with the president's bunker, and the deaths begin as we see Magneto hurt and Storm becomes a skewer.
Hey look! She's an Aurora kebab!
The Sentinels of the future begin attacking again, killing X-Men left and right, as Beast and Logan handle the ones from the past. Magneto decides that Logan is just a nuisance and shoves pipe through his body, tossing him through the ocean.
Being a survivor.
Magneto yanks the safe out from the ground and begins a TV broadcast talking about mutants and humans being right to fear them. Mystique then tricks Magneto, shooting him in the neck. Charles then finally puts his faith in Raven. As all looks bleak, she drops the gun, saving the humans' lives, seemingly stopping the future from ever happening. Charles uses Magneto to free himself as Logan wakes up to the new present, as everyone is still alive and well, even retconning the entirety of Last Stand. Logan and Charles realize they are the only ones that remember anything, as we see Logan's survival is all due to Mystique posing as Stryker, ending the film. Despite my personal dislike for this film, it was massively successful, making over $740 million back on a $208 million budget, becoming the most successful X-Men film to date. The film does have another version of it called the Rogue Cut that will focus on Rogue having a side mission and more screen time, but I will only cover that if it's actually highly requested.
The main reason I'm not a big fan of this film is because of how far away it strays from the original source material, and I honestly think they should have just adapted the original story and just not focus on Wolverine for everything, or Mystique for that matter. Why did Shadowcat not get her chance to shine? That being said, this one was at least better than the next.